welcome. So today I'm making a video basically about the spiritual journey and the choices that we make and the transitions, especially when it's about purpose. And why I decided to make this video, especially because I got asked a very important question. And the question was, do you have to choose between family and higher calling? Do you get to have both? So, higher calling. Now, this is a very important question, so I didn't really respond via, message, because in life, whether we're on the spiritual journey, whether it's a work situation, whether it's a relationship situation, whatever situation, there's going to come a time and a place where each and every single one of us will have to go within to make choices about our life and the way we want to live our life, who we choose to be. And I say choose because to choose yourself is a choice. So what is so important about this is that oftentimes we make choices based outside of ourselves. What makes family happy? What makes friends happy? What makes partners, lovers, children, whoever it may be, happy? Now, this is not me saying to you that you need to go out and harm anyone or hurt anyone's feelings, but it is very important that you basically have to make choices ultimately that resonate to yourself, that are authentic to you. And what do I mean by authentic? They're your truth. So if you have a purpose, a calling, and sometimes it even comes where it comes in a shift in a cultural perspective, a shift in a religious perspective, a shift in any perspective. We are human beings and we're constantly changing. I'm not the same person I was 3 days ago. You weren't. And that's the important thing to remember. We are all constantly changing and evolving. And in order for this to happen, we need to listen to ourselves, go within and listen to our heart. And if it is not to hurt anyone, you're not going against basically, when I say to hurt anyone, you're not going there to be rude, aggressive, antagonize someone. You are basically just stating a new belief, a new passion, a new experience that your heart is now called to. And it's so important to listen to your heart. There's a reason why we as human beings have a heartbeat. Right? We all, every single one of us. Even animals have a heartbeat. Everything has a heartbeat, the earth even. But the most important thing, and let me just stick to point, is that basically with a heartbeat, have you ever heard that saying, she moves or he moves, to the beat of their own drum? It's basically listening to the beat of who you are, your beat, your rhythm, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, and basically following through. If you feel happy to basically take a walk in nature and go camping or basically do an hour of meditation, and as long as you are being considerate, respectful, where you've okay, you know what, family, friends, I'm going to take some time out for self-care. Let's not make any plans around then. So you're giving people the opportunity to know that this is time for yourself, spending that time for yourself, doing what you want to do. And if people don't agree with it, well, does it matter? I can't stop you from a meditation. I can't stop you from pulling angel cards. I can't stop you from astrology. I can't stop you from whatever religious practice you want to have, whether it's a church, mosque, a temple. That's your practice. It's your communication between you, God, and your higher self. I can't stop you if you want to change jobs. It's not my place. I can guide you and maybe say, I don't think this is the best for you, but I'll support you in a sense where I might not think it's the best, but I support you to see where this goes, because it's important for people to travel their own journey. Oftentimes, and this I must say, I've done lots of readings and basically energy work and energy alignment of people, and a common mistake is a lot of people choose happiness outside of themselves based on other people's wants and needs and even family. that obligation right there. It can be like, we want you to behave a certain way. You're a girl, you're a boy, you need to be this way, you need to be that way. And it can create such a heavy burden on a soul. It creates pressure because now you feel wrong for being yourself, whatever that may be, or whoever that may be. However you want to look, wherever you want to go, whatever it is you want to do. And this creates an internal conflict with yourself because now you got to set a part of yourself. You actually have to set it aside and say, I can't be you. I need to be a projection. I need to be what somebody else wants me to be in order for me to be happy, and for them to feel happy with me. That is a lie. And the one thing that happens once we start living those lies, where we do things out of obligation because, we just got to, they said so, whoever it may be. Once we start living from that perspective, we now start living a lie because we're not honest with ourselves of what we want. What do we love? What are we passionate about? What brings magic to our life? What creates magic in your life, a manifestation in your life where you actually get all the things you want in life, is being authentic to yourself without harming or doing anything to anybody else, but being authentic to yourself. So yes, every single time in life, no matter whether you have a regular job or whatever it may be, when I say regular job, as in like, maybe you're working a 9 to 5, or maybe you a CEO, or maybe you want to create your own spiritual practice, or maybe you have a higher calling or a purpose, or you want to change your religious practice, or maybe you want to change any aspect, even intimacy, how you relate to yourself sexually, all of those things. Ultimately, if you want to create that kind of a change in your life, you got to be authentic to yourself. It is not about anyone else but you and you living this life. And as long as you're not hurting anyone and being respectful, you got to be authentic. And I've been myself, and many people that I do work with have all been placed in a position where ultimately they got to make this choice. A choice of, what do I do? This is what I want for myself. This is what this person wants of me. But what do I want for me? And where can I compromise? So the compromise comes in is where you are being respectful. This is what I need to do to fulfill myself. This is the time that I'm saying I'm going to be doing it. Please respect that. Don't disrespect me because this matters to me. And if someone loves you, truly loves you, they'll let you be who you are. They won't change how they feel about you. And sure, sometimes we gotta upset people, because what I mean by upset them, we gotta be like, this is me. And they're gonna be upset because they want you to be a certain way, but they gotta get used to the boundary of you actually being authentic and this version of you. So you need to give them the space to have their feelings. You have your feelings, as in like you have to come to terms with maybe they're not happy about it. Maybe it hurts. Maybe you got to mourn, but you still got to honor yourself. And once you start leading the way, like you now actually answer your higher purpose, your calling, you've taken that job offer, you've been authentic, you've set the time, whatever it is you want to travel, you want to live your best life, whatever that is to you. You want to be in a relationship that maybe people don't necessarily agree with, but you want it now for you. Your soul is learning something through that experience, and no one can take that from you. So you got to go through it and enjoy it and grow from it and evolve and transform and become magnificent. Yes, there might be trials and tribulations, but no matter what you choose in life. But when you choose yourself, it's easier because you were truthful. You knew you listened to your heart. And you can always reroute, but ultimately listening to your heart is the most important thing there is in order to living an authentic life and having people in your life that are authentic with you. Because all relationships will be built on falsehood, where they eventually start not being honest with you because you're not honest with yourself. You can't ask others for honesty if you can't be honest with yourself. You can't tell people, please be real with me, but I am now being a version of myself that you want me to be. It doesn't make any sense. The universe doesn't work that way. Energy doesn't work like that. It like attracts like. It'll show you. It'll show you time and time and again that you gotta be authentic to yourself and no one else. And the more you do that, the more you will see blessings in your life, because you will connect to real people, authentic people, spiritual people, people that are on your level, people that are thinking about growing, abundance, prosperity, love, all on that kind of a level, as long as you're authentic to yourself. And here's the thing, whenever we change an aspect of ourselves, it always makes those closest to us feel on edge because they don't know what's going to happen, how we're going to change, and what to expect. But here's the thing, you lead by being yourself. You lead the way. And that's what I also did in my personal life. And whenever I came across or met someone or people in my life closest to me that felt a bit uneasy about me being me, I would be me. And it made them uncomfortable, or they didn't think it was the right thing to do, but I still remained true to myself. Some people fell away. Some people remained. And those that remained, I love them dearly because they evolved with me. You know, they changed with me. They saw a part of me and realized that I'm not here to hurt anyone or anything. I'm just living from the heart. And my heart is to teach about energy work, to pull angel cards, to read astrology, to do all of these things energy related, even numerology, color therapy, to work with herbs, crystals. I'm drawn to it. I've always have been. And of course, coming from a religious background, it could have been a bit uneasy for people because, you know, it's not something they necessarily are used to, but it is who I am. And there's nothing to fear. I have no fear. I know I'm working with God, working with higher self, working with spirit, and moving from the heart. So they saw that. I believe kindness is the most beautiful thing we can be to one another. As long as we're kind and loving and authentic and are working with integrity, then that is divine, spiritual, holy, sacred energy. And that's the important thing, is to remember that we need to treat ourselves as a divine, sacred vessel. And the actions that we take and the choices that we make, that they are in truth, alignment, and in love. So by leading in that way, it actually encouraged a lot of them to actually incorporate the things that I do. And it was very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. So that's about leading. And it's so important because that's the second. Do you get to have both? You can have both. By you not being afraid of who you are. By you not being afraid of being vulnerable and showing people who you are, you will feel more blessed. You will see the realness in relationships. And yes, at first you will be met with uneasiness and doubt and scared and all sorts of emotions because people are afraid of change. But once you embrace your own change, magic happens and you can pave the way for other people to change and to grow and to evolve. And yes, some people won't, but those people that don't, they're not meant to be a part of your growth. And that's the beauty of it. And it's the magic of it. So you can lead, you can have both, but you first need to learn to be truthful to yourself. You first need to learn to be vulnerable enough, to be open enough, to be who you are meant to be by being present in the moment as you are, and allowing people to feel that and get accustomed to change. You know, there's a funny thing. Sometimes, you know, people can be, I'm sure you must have heard, people can be afraid of heights or afraid of the dark. But if you go into a dark room with someone, they're not so afraid. If you hold their hand, if you talk to them, they're not so afraid. If someone's afraid of heights and you hold their hand, it might not be a comfortable experience, but you show people there's nothing to be afraid of by not being afraid yourself. Thank you for watching.